Good morning, everyone. This is Tony from her Homestead Skills, and I guess today what I decided to do was go to Dollarama to check up on the canning lid situation. Basically, if Dollarama doesn't have canning lids, you won't find them anywhere here, and found none. I did not bother going to Canadian Tire, as I suspect they still have skids of jars. Even if they have diminished somewhat, they probably still have a good supply of them, but canning lids, it appears that nobody has them, so we are experiencing a shortage of them as well. So while I was at the dollar store, Dollarama, I did spot these very interesting little canning jar gift kits, and they had them in a few different colors, in greens and blues and reds, and as you can see, I picked up the blues and the reds, and they come with the little round cloth that you can put on the top of the mason jar, as well as tags, and the tags have grommets. So yes, they're pretty solid, as well as the elastic there that you can use to tie up the tags with. So after that, I went to the thrift store, and I've got a few shots of me walking through the thrift store, but I didn't find anything that I wanted to buy. So I did make another trip to a flea market, and this particular flea market had this one vendor who, if I looked long enough, I could probably find the kitchen sink. I think he had everything in there. Very interesting, but I find that even the flea markets are priced high. I mean, it's a business, and it's, perhaps you can haggle with them, I don't know, I didn't try. I only tried with the one vendor where I bought my manual tomato machine. But this was at a different flea market, and very interesting. They're not what they used to be. Most of them are just selling clothing, you know, your t-shirts and things of that nature. And but this one particular vendor, as I said, if I look long enough, I could probably find the kitchen sink in there. And I even said to him, "What don't you have here?" And yeah, you could spend the day looking in his shop, and quite a few interesting things. And of course, wherever I go to one of these places, I look for the missing teacup and saucer from my set that the Fontainebleau set that I purchased, that had just the one cup and saucer missing. I haven't found it yet, and if I don't, doesn't matter, but if I do manage to find the single cup and saucer in one of these spots, all the better. Anyway, did shoot a little bit of a video, and hope you find it interesting as well. Okay, that's it. I'll take you there, and we'll have a little walkthrough together. Of course, my first stop here is at Dollarama, as you can see, and I'm in the kitchen aisle where all the kitchen tools can be found, and normally where you would find canning lids. So, and this is specifically what I went to look for, and the shelves were empty. So, I do spot this pineapple corer here though, which is interesting. And if I do another pineapple, I'll certainly go in to buy one of those. And of course, here are my little canning lid kits. And yes, I thought those were interesting. If I'm going to give any canning jar stock away as a gift over Christmas, those would be very pretty to use. So. And I do pick up a few other items that I found useful, like these plastic lids. Every once in a while now I pick those up. They are meant for canning jars, for the regular size canning jars. And yeah, so that's my little walkthrough at Dollarama. Okay, and here I am at the flea market. Those are absolutely gorgeous lamps that he had there, but they were a little bit pricey. And yes, I could spend days and days and days in this place and never know everything that he had in stock. There was just so much stuff here. But I'm going through the aisles and I'm looking to see what he carries. And as I say, if I looked long and hard enough, I could probably find the kitchen sink as well. There was just about everything here. And this is the kind of place that I find interesting. It was jammed a little too much and made it a little bit difficult to find anything specific that you were looking for. But it was still the most interesting shop in the flea market. So, and here records and music of all different kinds. I find a little book, but not something that I wanted to purchase. And records and records and records and records, piles and piles of records. And a wall here at the back of brass, mostly brass. And that was just one little corner tucked away in his shop. And there were definitely cabinets and cabinets full of things. And of course, I spot a whole bunch of china as well, and decide to see if he's got anything that would interest me. There is one shelf with china cups and saucers, but obviously did not find the one I was looking for. And all kinds of old memorabilia and collectibles that people are interested in, perhaps. I mean, there were Coke bottles, there was just about everything. And I do spot some cast iron. Unfortunately, they were all pieces from Asia, not necessarily anything I would be interested in. Yeah, that one was from Taiwan. Others were made in China. And that one was IKEA. Didn't expect that, but it happens. That certainly was not an old piece. Definitely an interesting shop. As I said, I could probably spend days in this place, and who knows what you would find. And there's the bottles of Coke, and half of them haven't even been opened. I think my daughter had some of those and we threw them out. Well, that was my trip to the flea market, and as I say, this is probably one of the most interesting shops in this particular flea market. And yeah, love the lamps. I'm back on my way out now and spot them again. Those lamps are absolutely gorgeous, but priced a little high.